the latest breaking news.
Happening right now, police in Louisiana reporting several officers have been shot while on duty in Baton Rouge, and they were all shot less than a mile from police headquarters. The very latest coming into our newsroom on what has become another attack on law enforcement. Also right now, new details in the deadly hospital shooting this morning in Brevard County. We now know the names of the gunman and the two women he killed, an elderly patient and the woman who was taking care of her. And authorities say the man opened fire on two teens in a car, all because of a smartphone app. Why the teens were reportedly targeted for playing Pokemon Go. Your new report starts right now.
From News 13, the latest breaking news, county by county coverage, plus weather on the ones. This is your midday news weather now.
Thanks for sticking with us here on News 13 at noon. I'm Brittany Jones in for David Bowden. Some very big stories developing right now, but we do want to begin with the forecast because our severe weather expert Jamie Martin is tracking some potential rough weather ahead this afternoon. Jamie?
Yeah, Brittany, definitely seeing some showers already popping up across parts of central Florida right now. Not everybody's going to see the showers, but they are going to be moving their way inland as we head through the rest of this afternoon. A live look at Cocoa Beach right now, though, showing a lot of people taking advantage of the nice conditions. Be careful, though. They have the red flags there in Brevard County flying, which means you definitely want to swim to those lifeguards. There's a high rip risk there, a moderate rip risk off to the north. Let's talk about it with live Storm Tracker 13 Doppler radar. You can see a batch of thunderstorms that have just developed out here. They're going to be in the eastern parts of Orange County and the interior parts there of Brevard County, really the northwestern parts of Osceola County. Let me put this into motion. I'll show you what we're talking about here. It's moving its way in towards the inland areas here. So Bithlo, right along 50, you're going to be seeing these showers moving their way in over the next half hour. So not anything severe expected, but you can see some lightning and also going to pick up some brief heavy rain around Lake Pickett at 12:56, also Lockwood at about the same time. So some more showers developing throughout the afternoon hours. We'll keep you updated right here with your weather on the ones.
Now, the latest breaking news.
At least 3 officers dead and 7 others hurt after a shooting in Baton Rouge early this morning. Authorities say the incident happened less than 1 mile from the police headquarters. The shooter is also believed to be dead. Sources are saying additional victims might include police officers as well as sheriff's deputies. Law enforcement, including ATF, are currently on scene. Also right now, new details about the deadly shooting at a Titusville hospital this morning. We now know the identity of the gunman and the 2 women he killed. News 13's Caitlin Wilson joins us live from the Titusville Police Department. And Caitlin, you just got those details from the Chief of Police.
Well, Brittany, that's correct. We just spoke with the Chief of Police right here outside their department in downtown Titusville. Of course, we are learning new information. Some of that information is the 2 victims' names were released to us just a little while ago. An employee at the hospital, 36-year-old Carrie Rouser, and then also a patient at the hospital, 88-year-old Cynthia Zingheim. And of course, we are learning more. The shooter, 29-year-old David Owens, is a Titusville resident. He was booked into the Brevard County Jail on 2 counts of murder. And for those who may just be now joining us, to give you a brief recap on what happened this morning, police and sheriff's deputies arrived on scene just after 2 a.m. They say Owens went into the emergency room and then went to the 3rd floor where he shot Zingheim and Rouser with a handgun. Security guards were able to tackle Owens and take him into custody. At this time, police are investigating if Owens had any relation to the victims and what a possible motive could have been.
The arrestee is a Titusville resident. He is known to us. He does have a criminal history, but nothing that would make you think it would get to this degree.
According to police, Parish Medical Center will be providing information about their safety protocols and, of course, the impacts of the shooting and how it impacted their hospital and staff with the general public. And, of course, we'll be here on scene throughout the day bringing you the latest details coming up tonight at 5 o'clock. For now, live in Titusville, Caitlin Wilson, News 13.
Orange County deputies are investigating a death at the Waterford Point apartment complex. One witness says they heard a loud argument early this morning and then found a male's body lying on the ground. Authorities say the victim is around 30 years old and are looking for potential suspects. An earthquake hits right off the coast of Volusia County. It happened about 105 miles off the Atlantic coast, but the U.S. Geological Survey says Daytona Beach residents could still feel the quake. Geologists say the 3.7 magnitude quake struck around 4 p.m. Friday. Florida is not a common place for earthquakes, but experts say minor ones do strike out in the ocean from time to time. In fact, the 3.7 magnitude quake hit off the coast of St. Augustine back in June. With just one day left before the start of the Republican National Convention, security is extremely tight right now in Cleveland. Thousands of political delegates and news media are heading to the city. Barricades staffed by Ohio National Guard members are blocking or restricting a number of streets surrounding police headquarters in the Cleveland Convention Center. The perimeter is under control of the U.S. Secret Service around the convention venue and also the Quicken Loans Arena. What the crowds will be like outside the convention hall tomorrow is uncertain right now, but Cleveland's mayor and police chief say the city is prepared for all sorts of situations.
We have planned, we have what if, we have tabletop this from day one to yesterday.
Cleveland said it needs about 3,000 police officers to ensure everyone's safety. So to secure the RNC, it's temporarily hiring roughly 2,500 cops from around the country. Documents show Cleveland's been on a $20 million security shopping spree to get ready for the convention. You can count on News 13 for continuous coverage of the Republican National Convention next week. Our team is already on the ground in Cleveland, so we can bring you live reports starting tonight. Our coverage begins tonight at 5. You can also tune into our Political Connections special program each night of the convention and join in on our live chat. For more information on that and to get a closer look at the schedule of RNC events, just go to mynews13.com/RNC.
I found the leader who will help us deliver a safe society and a prosperous, really prosperous society for all Americans. Indiana Governor Mike Pence was my first choice. I've admired the work he's done, especially in the state of Indiana. But I also admire the fact that he fights for the people, and he's going to fight for you. He is a solid person.
Indiana Governor Mike Pence got choked up when he arrived home to a cheering crowd last night, celebrating yesterday's announcement in New York that he's officially on Donald Trump's presidential ticket. The Republican vice presidential candidate originally supported Ted Cruz in the primary, but told the crowd that Trump is a good man who will be a great president. Pence was a 6-term congressman elected as Indiana's governor in 2012. He signed Indiana's religious freedom bill, giving businesses the right to decline participating same-sex marriages. He's praised Trump's pledge to repeal Obamacare and toughen the nation's immigration policy. He told the crowd that if elected, he'll take the Hoosier ideals to Washington. The failed military coup in Turkey has brought people out into the streets for a second night, but this time to band together. The crowds have been waving flags and singing songs in support of Turkey's president. Almost 300 soldiers and civilians are dead and thousands injured after the military in Turkey staged a coup against the government and their president. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was elected to office as Turkey's prime minister in 2002 and elected president 12 years later in political career that's narrowed the gap between church and state. But thousands rose up in opposition Friday night. However, many remain loyal to the government. We spoke with Bruce W. Farquhar, a professor with the University of Central Florida. He believes the failure to overthrow the president could be the beginning of an even tighter government grip in Turkey.
His enemies that he might have had that maybe he didn't even know about, he knows who they are now, and they're gone. They'll be in prison, or they'll be in exile, or dead. And so he will have even more absolute power than he had before.
So far, nearly 3,000 soldiers have been arrested in the failed coup. More than 2,700 judges have been dismissed. And right now, here is still a large amount of tension in Turkey as the government works to find all of those responsible for the coup. There has now been an arrest in the kidnapping and murder of a man in Pine Hills. Deputies arrested Philip Smith and Malik Gibson. Here's a mugshot of Smith. According to deputies, Smith and Gibson abducted 21-year-old Alexander Privilis at a quick stop on North Power Drive, just off Silver Star Road in Orlando, and killed him Thursday night. Deputies say Privilis was shot several times. Gibson was also shot during the incident. It is unclear how it happened, but he is in the hospital recovering. Both Gibson and Smith have been charged with armed kidnapping and first-degree murder. 2 people are dead following a crash in Lake County. It happened at the intersection of Thousand Trails Boulevard and US 27. According to police, 43-year-old Randall Harris and 38-year-old Michelle Harris were both killed when their motorcycles slammed into the back of an SUV that pulled out onto the roadway. Both were ejected off of the bike. Police say right now the crash remains under investigation. Shots fired in Palm Coast over a smartphone app. Authorities say a man opened fire on 2 teen Pokemon Go players in their car just outside his house. No one was hurt, and the Flagler County Sheriff's Office says the man claims he was woken up by a loud noise around 1:30 yesterday morning and saw the car right in front of his home. The mother of one of the teens in the car called deputies after seeing bullet holes in one of the tires. Keep healing, keep loving, and keep dancing. That was the message at the Pulse 12th anniversary Latin Night tribute at the Abbey last night. Hundreds of people came out last night to support the Hispanic and LGBT communities. The event benefited Pulse Orlando and was dedicated to the 49 victims killed on June 12th.
I lost a friend of mine that I would, yo lo quería mucho. I love him a lot, and I feel it was very painful for me see what happened, and that's why I'm here to support everything and celebrate life.
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Pretty quiet day across Central Florida for most folks, but some folks are already seeing some showers and a few thunderstorms erupting across the region, so be aware of that as you're heading out. A lot of folks flocking to the beaches, the area lakes, and also, of course, the pools to try to beat the heat. Just make sure if you hear that thunder, you take cover until it's about 30 minutes gone. As a look earlier, Daytona Beach, the ruined Ziffer Camp at the Ocean Deck Restaurant showing pretty tranquil conditions out in the Atlantic itself. Waves only running about 1 to an occasional 2-foot wave, and that is just about it. Now let's take a look at the winds across the area. They will pick up as we continue our way through the afternoon hours as the eastern sea breeze continues to pick up. But around Melbourne, about 6 to 10 miles per hour the winds, but gusting up to about 15 at times late this afternoon. Orlando, about the same situation up towards Flagler Beach. Pretty light winds and also around Ocala. But again, if you see any of these thunderstorms or any of these heavy rain showers, you will pick up some gusty winds from time to time. Here's what's ahead for the temperatures. Boy, 94 degrees coming up for an afternoon high. It is going to be a hot day once again, and you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel closer to about 105 when you're stepping outside. You will definitely feel it this afternoon. 87 degrees by 7 p.m., back down to 83 by 9 p.m. And tomorrow morning starting off in the mid to upper 70s. Very quiet conditions overnight, just a little bit on the warm and muggy side. Futurecast as we continue our way through the afternoon hours. Yes, chance of showers and storms are all going to be moving off to the west and to the northwest. So they're going to be pushing on the other side of the I-4 corridor here through about 5 p.m. this afternoon. So very few showers in the east by late today, but best chance of concentrated showers and storms will be along our western counties as we head our way into the early evening hours, but then everything will be calming down during the overnight. So your forecast for the rest of today, a little mixture of sun and clouds, and those highs, yep, back in the low to mid 90s. We'll talk more about what you can expect for your work week coming up in about 10 minutes with your 7-day outlook with your weather on the ones. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13 Doppler radar.